It is true, time and time again, consumerism proves to be pretty harmful. But the good news is that it's never too late to think about the ways that we can thoughtfully interact with consumerism and also add a little bit of nuance to the way that we navigate our daily lives. Let's talk about it. There are plenty of diatribes present on the internet kind of critiquing consumerism or capitalism, especially Bong Joon-ho, who has plenty of films where he does the same thing, where he critiques capitalism, rightfully so. So my intention isn't to add to those diatribes or to bring a new theme. I just want to talk about how a little change in my thoughtfulness towards the things that I'm purchasing or not purchasing, how that makes a lot of difference in the long run. We see it time and time again. January comes up, people are in the gym. By the time it's February, that amount of attendance goes down. I feel that when it comes to discipline or when it comes to change in life, we want to see sudden, quick change. But ultimately, if we just make little tweaks here and there, those are the things that are going to be way more sustainable for the long run, instead of trying to make a big change and say, okay, I'm going to combat capitalism, I'm going to combat consumerism, so I'm going to go zero waste in my household. What's going to happen a week later? Like, you might drop it, you might do it. Some people it works to go cold turkey and make a change, but I'm just going to talk about how there are these specific areas in my life where I just started to tweak little things, and I feel like for the long run, it's just going to change the way that I interact. Today, I'm going to break it into two different categories. What also can happen is that whenever there's a subject, people can just bring up a whole list of things that they deem wrong about this thing and then just leave it in your lap. That's also not my intention. I can maybe talk about the Achilles heels and then what I would suggest, but that's really the focus is here are the things that have worked for me. This is what I suggest because I actually think that is helpful. One of those being keeping up with the Joneses. So something when it comes to the newest iPhone, the newest electronic, the newest whatever it is, keeping up with the Joneses can be this crazy old but really pressing phenomenon that has people feeling left out if they are included with having the next item. It could be the same thing with streaming, whatever it is. So I would just say being the solution to this is just being present and being uncomfortable. Sometimes we find a lot of growth within ourselves if we actually bear down and say, I really don't need the newest Apple Watch. Also, I live in the United States. This is my perspective living in the United States, and I think that is a very good thing to mention up front because we really do have a lot of these pressures to buy. This is what makes the nation go round, buy. This is the only way to do it. I mean, every year there's a new iPhone, there's a new Galaxy phone, whatever it is, and so keeping up with the Joneses is going to end up having people feeling like they have to perform. Don't perform. Be uncomfortable for a little bit. And is it uncomfortable to have an iPhone 11 in 2025? I don't think so. There are much worse things in life. So anyway, being uncomfortable and putting yourself in a position to just say, let me just bear down for a little bit, that will be a great way to combat keeping up with the Joneses. For the gamers, you already have enough. I mean, some of you might be on Steam, some of you have a huge collection. I want you to think about how many games that you have currently and then the percentage of games that you're actually playing or not playing. Same thing, gamers, for the handheld community. You have enough. I know it's a lot of fun for gamers to get a new handheld, set up their shaders, set up these specific preferences. But seriously, just thinking about it for a second, and this is the same thing for me, I'm gonna go to myself. We just keep purchasing. It increases the amount of items or games we have, and then it decreases likelihood of being able to choose just because of paralysis. So for me recently, I think about it this way, is that with something that I could gain, how am I actually also maybe giving something away or doing something in a trade? For example, my homie Grant, who I've known since 8th grade, he's one of my brothers, he sent me and Abby his Xbox 360 as well as some games. Now I had the decision, it has the red ring, no controller, there was a decision to make. Do we repair? Do we get a new Xbox 360 and have these games? Because he gave us mad games and he said, do what you will with it. So I sat on it, thought about it for a little bit. I kept some of the games that we used to play together on that Xbox. Ultimately, I decided that I will use some of those games to kind of fuel the systems that we are currently playing. That's a serious soundtrack.
It really is.
We got some PS2 games and some Nintendo 64 games. Once again, Grant, thank you so much for your generosity. I was thinking about it. Do I have a new system to start a new catalog, to start something else, or do I just fuel what I already have? And with that, too, I just kind of made a rule for myself. How can I think about 2 games to just play through? So right now, I'm playing through one retro one, that's Banjo-Kazooie on the Nintendo 64, and then one newer gen one, I'm playing through Shadow of War on the PS5. By making a decision to say these are the 2 games that I'm playing, it takes away the other amount of games that I have on the backlog, which I'm excited to play. Instead of me looking every night and saying, what am I going to play? I know it's Banjo-Kazooie or Shadow of War. That way the backlog goes from this to this because you know what you're doing. Anyway, you have enough. Go play through your backlog. When it comes to consumerism, a huge Achilles heel is simply convenience. I'm going to relate this to food. You're off from work, you're driving home. What's more convenient, going home and cooking, or just being able to drive through a drive-through, pick up something, and then there was no effort other than handing the credit card over? For a lot of people, they would say that it's the latter, and I agree. In some points, when you're tired or you're uninspired to cook something, it is far more convenient to just go somewhere and buy something. Now, the little change in the mindset, because I crave Wingstop all the time, especially on the drive home, especially when I'm hungry. When you have that thought of, okay, like, where can I go eat today? If you take that second just to think, but what do I already have? That is a pretty profound move. I'm not trying to be fake deep. I'm just saying, when you think, what do I already have? For me, I could say, okay, I have protein noodles in my pantry. I have broccoli and carrots in my fridge. I have chicken thighs that are thawing right now. I have bacon. Utilize the things that you have. I think cooking can be daunting for a lot of people because they're like, it's all these ingredients that I purchase, and that's way more expensive than me spending $12 at Chipotle. And that's true for a lot of people because they end up saying, let me cook pad kerpow out of nowhere, and now I have fish sauce, soy sauce, which light and dark soy sauce, I have jasmine rice, I have chili peppers, I have basil, I have Thai chili peppers. And because of all these things, after I cook it that one time, now I have this slew of ingredients and I'm uninspired and I don't know what to do with it, and it goes to waste. It's spoiled. I just wasted my money. That approach to cooking will warrant a lot of people walking away, when in reality all it takes is, what things do you enjoy to eat, what things do you enjoy cooking, and then how can you actually get creative enough to stretch it. ChatGPT is great. Utilize AI to just type in and say, I have these ingredients, this is the flavor profile that I enjoy, generate me a recipe. It's that easy. Is it convenient per se to cook after work sometimes? No. A really cool thing for me, honestly, recently is thinking about some of the items that I have and the things that I might typically throw away and saying, how can I stretch it? Something easy is bananas. And, you know, Abby and I, we've had some brown bananas recently, and I've thought about it. I was like, yeah, we've been throwing them away, but I should just make banana bread out of it. So I have one frozen banana in the freezer right now. Banana bread is pending. Other thing we do is that we go to Sam's Club, and typically when it comes to like chicken thighs or chicken breasts, you can buy the ones that are skinless and boneless, or you can buy the ones that have the skin and the bones on them, and then you do it yourself. I love to debone and de-skin chicken because I can watch a show or listen to something while I do it. And recently I've been thinking, I was like, why don't I make chicken stock out of all these bones that I've been using? So I froze bag, and then just today I started it. So I roasted it, roasted some onions, took some carrots. I left the skin on so it could retain that earthiness. I already have peppercorns and parsley. And per the suggestion from a cook named Matt, I blackened the onions, and literally right now, like it's happening outside this door, it's simmering. And I'm gonna have it simmer for a couple hours and have some chicken stock. Editor Andre with a quick interjection. I just had one more quick story to share. So shout out to the homie Lawrence. I think you're watching. A while ago, he told me, because he heard that I was looking for Birkenstock mules. I've been up and down about whether I wanted to have one or not, have a pair. He said that he had a pair of really old beat down Birkenstock Bostons, and so here they are. I really think he takes care of his stuff pretty well. So his version of beat down, bust down shoes, I'd say, is pretty good. Now the thing is that with Birkenstocks you have the cork there, and it just forms to your feet, and so these are very much formed to his feet. So when I put them on, I can feel that he has very high arch in his foot. And so for me, that is a little bit uncomfortable. So I had a decision to make. Do I just try this out, bear through it? Maybe it can form to my feet. Do I get a new pair of Birkenstock Boston so that it could form to my feet? Or do I do a little bit of research and see if I have another middle ground option? And the middle ground option is fixmybirkenstocks.com. I'm actually going to be able to get those replaced for about like $80. And so I had a little bit of fun money put to the side, and I'm gonna send these off this week. Being bored and being uneducated is a killer. Just because something new comes out every single year does not mean, or does not equate to, let me just go buy something. And taking the chance to also say, but why? Why do I feel like I need this newest thing? But what can I do instead of just being bored and purchasing something? Taking a chance just to think over and over again, just combat little by little. It'll go for a long-term impact. Just because something is easy, just because something is shiny, just because something is owned by a lot of people around you and not yourself, does not equate to that thing, that item, that theme to being fulfilling. So I just want to say again, when it comes to our personal goals in life, getting fit, learning to cook, thinking about how we interact with consumerism, the saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I think that is so true with our daily life. Think about the way that you interact with the items in your house, outside of your house, and make little changes here and there, and you're gonna see how far that can go. I'm thankful. It's like, I'm not gonna be out here like an old sage saying my entire life has changed and now I live in a zero waste household. But what I will say is, just by taking a second to say, this is what I initially think, but wait, what do I actually think about that? Those couple seconds can save you money, can save you time, and can also not contribute to the intense, immense amount of waste that surrounds us on this earth. Think about how you interact with things, think about how you interact with people, and keep pushing. This is the life we got, so let's do it to the fullest. Thank you for watching.